the COVID injections became available last year, all we've heard from the corporate media and politicians is that you have to get vaccinated to protect those around you. Big Pharma Biden is even warning about a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
We're still in a pandemic of the unvaccinated. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We have a pandemic among the non-vaccinated. We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated.
Big talk from a guy who can't remember where he is or what he's doing half the time. But is it true? Well, according to the latest figures from the CDC, that's actually a bunch of malarkey.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
Because despite bashing natural immunity, it turns out, according to the CDC, there are no records, none, of anyone with natural immunity transmitting COVID-19 to anyone else. Let that sink in. If you have natural immunity, you are doing a much better job protecting those around you than the people who submitted and let themselves get injected with a faulty vaccine. The CDC officially announced they don't have a single document proving anyone who was previously infected with the Chinese Communist Party virus went on to infect anyone else. Now, if the CDC and the FDA and Biden and all of the rest of them were going to tear up our constitutional rights and lock us in our homes and take away our jobs and force our kids to stay home from school, you'd think they'd at least have some solid evidence to back up their so-called science that natural immunity doesn't work. Well, they don't. In fact, natural immunity is now proving to be far more effective than the vaccine. It lasts longer, over a full year, whereas the vaccine loses effectiveness after just a few months, and then you need endless cycles of booster shots every month or two, presumably for the rest of your life. And now, not only do you have long-lasting protection with natural immunity, but you also won't infect anyone else. That's a big step up from the millions of documented cases where fully vaccinated people have passed on the infection.
This idea is a bunch of malarkey.
In fact, a new study from England, published in The Lancet, found that fully vaccinated people easily transmit the infection to others, and that the Delta variant, which is now the dominant variant worldwide, is still highly transmissible within a fully vaccinated population. But just get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
With the naturally immune and fully vaccinated combined, we're well over 80% of the population that has some kind of protection. California alone has better than 85% of the population fully vaccinated, and we're beginning to see a surge in COVID cases again, which obviously means the vaccines don't work. But that shouldn't be a surprise because technically it's not even a vaccine. And I'm not being sarcastic here. This is the truth. The injection that they want us to line up for, that they've been calling a vaccine, isn't a vaccine at all. It's a therapeutic, and not a very good one at that. In fact, this vaccine is so ineffective, the CDC actually had to change the definition of what a vaccine is so that they could keep calling it a vaccine. I'm serious. The CDC fixed the definition back in September, hoping no one would notice. But we did. The definition of a vaccine used to read, a product that stimulates a person's immune system to produce immunity to a specific disease, protecting the person from that disease. Now, I'm not making this up, but the CDC actually removed the part that says a vaccine is supposed to protect you from a disease. This is from the CDC website itself. Apparently, now when you get vaccinated, you shouldn't expect to be protected from that disease anymore. That's just not what vaccines do, you little conspiracy theorist. So now we have a vaccine that doesn't prevent you from getting sick, doesn't stop you from getting other people sick, won't stop you from dying, and officially doesn't protect you from the disease. And we can see that in action today because Fauci just came out and said despite the country being better than 80% protected from the virus, hospitalizations are now significantly rising among the fully vaccinated. Are you getting the picture here? We're being lied to on a massive scale. Imagine a pandemic so deadly couldn't afford to fire millions of healthcare workers because they refuse to get a vaccine that's so effective, you have to change the definition of what a vaccine is so that it even qualifies. They call this a pandemic of the unvaccinated, but that's not true. This is a pandemic of the brainwashed, and we're all paying the price. For One American News, I'm Pearson Sharp.
Straight ahead on One American